Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I am the senior minister here at the Oasis, and God has provided me with this amazing team. Let me start out with my faithful assistant, Faith, who's actually been my assistant since the day she was born. And she used to sit on the podium with me and do announcements. And then later on, she and her sister did affirmation cards. And about 5 years ago, she became my official assistant. And so it's Faith behind the scenes that answers you when you say hi, good morning, hello. And I always check back later and make sure that, there isn't something else that I need to answer. But she's grown up 6 blocks from my house and spent an enormous amount of time with me all of her life. So she knows me pretty well. Sometimes better than I know myself. So she's also our soloist this morning, and we are singing, oh gosh, what are we singing this morning?
Thoughts Become Things by Elaine Silver.
Thoughts Become Things by Elaine Silver. Yeah, this has been the Elaine Silver month. I hope she's been tuning in to see that. All right, we'll see you on a little bit later. Thanks, Faith. I love you. All right, and then there is my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz. He was my first baby practitioner, meaning he took all of his training with me, and then he became my board president and was my board president for numerous years, and then moved away to Florida, and we kind of lost our ability to have him in the service until this new technology, which allows him to be with us. Right now, he's in Wisconsin avoiding the upcoming hurricane.
Hurricane Ian, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's his birthday today. So everybody wish Oz a happy birthday today.
Happy 39th birthday, yes.
Yes. Are you going backwards too?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm waiting for it to get to the point where I can switch the digits and it'll be okay. Like your mom could be 29, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But mine would make me 76. So no, I don't want that.
No, that's not good. No.
Yeah, no better. All right. Oz is going to be praying us in and praying us out. And he is available at the end for our 1-minute miracle. And he will be available for that. And I will talk about that a little bit more later. Thank you so much for being here, Oz. I so appreciate you. And thank you all for being here as well. I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning. We're really blessed to have you here with us. I also like to introduce our adjunct music team. They don't appear on screen, but they provide us with karaoke files of all of their music. So I always like to mention them. And that is Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver and Karen Drucker. We also have Tina Giuffre, who sings occasionally with us. So she's part of the team too. All right. Today's topic is the last of the Back to Basics series. We did the thing itself, what it does, the way it works, and today we're going to do how to use it. So today is going to be Spiritual Tool Day. All right, let's see. Say hi if you're here. Hi, hello, good morning, however you like to greet us. In a facility, I can look out and see who's here. With this software, I don't have that availability. So if you're here, please say hi. If you are visiting later, please just drop a line and say, hi, I was here or whatever. Happy birthday to the great and powerful Oz, Joy said. I love it. There's a watch party button if you would like to invite your friends. You click on that watch party button and invite all of your friends. It's a great way for them to know what it is that we talk about here. And it's a really good way to have their questions answered because you can talk back and forth and know you won't bother anybody else. So it's a great way to do this. All right, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Presence of God, always present, for God is all there is, everywhere and eternal. It is always right here, right now. Inside you, inside me, inside all things that we encounter, and all things that could ever be, is that one presence that makes it all possible. And I admire and honor the presence of God right here, right now, in your life as well as in mine. And I know that the service is part of that presence, and the message reaches out and touches people now and in the future. I know that there is a blessing occurring right here where we sit. And I know this is good and very good, and I give thanks that it is so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. This next song is a great way to remember that we are all one. This is a Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver song, We Are All One, that she wrote when she was in practitioner training. And it is a great way to remember that we are all connected by it through it assets.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I receive, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
Yes, we are all one in it. If you are here, please say hi, hello, good morning, greet us however you would like. Let us know you're here. In a facility, I can look out and see who's here. I don't have that capability here in the software, unfortunately. So I count on you to say hi, hello, good morning, so I know you're here. If you're stopping by later, just put in a quick hello. Just let me know you were here. All right. Without further ado, here is Faith singing Thoughts Are Things by Elaine Silver. Our thoughts become things.
Summer into fall and winter into spring. Listen to the call, the thoughts become things. thoughts become things. I let my wishes ring. I'm awakening, the pendulum swings. 'Cause thoughts become things, the lessons they can bring. I'm aware that I'm aware. My thinking is a prayer. My thinking is a prayer. My thinking is a prayer. Thoughts become things. My wish and sing. I'm affirming now, and I'm declaring now. Each and every hour, I tap into the power of universal law. It brings a state of awe. The magic of the mind is out of space and time. It's out of space and time. Out of space and time. I'm opening. I'm awakening. Thoughts become things, the pleasures they can bring. The treasure of a king, I am one with everything. 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 Spring into fall and winter into spring. Listen to the call, the thoughts become things. The thoughts become things. The thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. Your thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. Your thoughts become things. Choose good ones.
Thank you, Faith. That was great. I love that song. She's so funny. I'm not Faith.
I don't know. I can be funny too some days.
Yeah, you can be funny too, but I mean, like, she's funny how she ends that. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful job, especially considering she went to a concert last night and screamed all night. So she has a little bit of challenge with her voice today. Excuse me. So as I said, we are doing today the last of our the first 4 chapters of the textbook, Back to Basics. And the first week we did the thing itself, which we said was God in and through all of life, the one infinite divine intelligence that flows through all of us. And then we talked about the way it works, which is love and law, love that is impartial, meaning it loves everyone the same, and anyone who uses it, it doesn't matter who you are. It's just like electricity or gravity. It works the same for everybody. And impersonal, because we don't believe in a personalized God. We have not made God in our image. God is not a wise judge in the sky with a white beard and white robes. We don't believe in that kind of God. We believe in a divine intelligence that knows more than we as human doings know. I don't say we're human beings because we are spiritual beings. God flows through us. We are made of God and it flows through us. And therefore we are human doings having a spiritual experience. Okay. And then last week we talked about what it does. And what it does is it creates a place of peace within us, of integrity for us to be the same no matter what we're doing, whether we're with family and friends, we're out on the street, we're the same person. Because there's integrity within our being. It is who and what we are. And so today I want to talk about how to use it. And this is our Spiritual Tools Week. It's really important, I think, to practice. One of the songs I wanted to do, but I don't have her permission, is Practice, Practice, Practice by Suze Ogden. Because it's a kid's song. She did a whole CD of kids songs. And I love that idea because you really do need to practice. And what happens when you practice it enough is you become so adept at it that you begin to just automatically do it. It becomes an automatic process in the brain. So I've been talking a little bit about, how thoughts become things. That is what our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said, is thought becomes things. And that whatever we focus our attention on, we create more of. And so I want to start out by talking about our thoughts and our beliefs. So here's our teaching symbol. And the circle represents the unbroken unity of God. There is no beginning, no end. Just like we are attached, we are all one being with no beginning and no end. There's no place where one leaves off and the other begins, right? And so that is that unbroken unity that we talk about. And then even though we can't part out God, we can't like divide God into parts. For the purposes of teaching, we have separated it into 3 parts to be able to explain the process of creation. The upper portion is where the conscious mind lives. So think about the last time you wanted to manifest something. You had an idea for that manifestation. That lived in the conscious mind. It was a conscious thought that you had that I want to do this. And then the middle section, excuse me, is like a computer hard drive. It has recorded everything that you've ever experienced and all of your reactions to what you have experienced. And so when you have a conscious thought that goes into this subjective medium here, it can either bounce back or it can actually go through and create, depending on what your thoughts and beliefs are. So we spend a lot of time in religious science talking about what are your thoughts? What are your limiting beliefs? Belief and faith are not the same. Faith is an unshaking knowingness about something. Like, I know the sun will come up every day. Excuse me. And there's no way you can convince me that it won't come up. When I sit in a chair, I have an unshakable belief that the chair is going to support me. And so that's what faith is like. Belief is something that can be changed. I believe this today. I believe something else tomorrow, right? And so what we want to focus our attention on in most of the work that we do is what beliefs are hanging out in that subjective mind. For instance, in my conscious mind, I might say, I now have $1 million in the bank, and that subjective material, because I've lived in poverty most of my life, is going to say, funny, I don't think so, right? And so then it bounces back. The bottom portion is the form, or the actual physical form of something. So in this example, I have $1 million. It bounces back without ever reaching that physical reality. That's what the V represents. The V represents the process of creation, that it flows through conscious mind, through the subjective mind, and comes into form. And just like the flowers in the fall, it returns back to the nothingness from which it came. If we have something in our subjective mind, our thoughts or beliefs are anti what we have put into the conscious mind, you're never going to see it get to that bottom portion. So the V becomes very short. It goes conscious mind, subjective mind, bounce back. The other part of this is that we create from those beliefs without our knowledge, without our conscious awareness. Think about when you learned how to drive, how you had to think about every little thing. At some point, your brain starts developing grooves, and I'll talk about that in a moment when I talk about affirmations. Actually, I'll talk about it here. So when we're born, we basically have this smooth surface. It's like a smooth ball, our brain is. And as we do repetitive stuff, that's how we learn, there are grooves that develop in that brain. And those grooves allow the synapses to fire quicker. So we don't have to have a conscious thought for everything that happens. We actually then can drive, for example, and really concentrate on what's going on around us instead of concentrating on putting our foot on the brake or our foot on the gas or looking in the rearview mirror and that kind of thing. Those are automatic, and it's not all bad. You know, that's right there as an example of how it's good. However, a lot of times we create without any conscious thought at all. We create a reality based on those beliefs that are held in that subjective material, and they jump into form. and return back to the nothingness, but it never involves our conscious mind at all. So we work a lot in religious science on those subjective beliefs, all those limiting beliefs that keep us from what we want. Same situation with love. I think I'll find a mate. That's up there in the top. The middle portion says, yeah, it'll be just like the other guy that you dated. And then all of a sudden it doesn't come to fruition. But if we can work on that subjective material that says, I'm open to receive love in every way, and get yourself to where you actually believe that, then you are going to create the relationship you want. Health is the same way. We have a conscious desire to create health, and then our subjective mind says, oh, we don't like working out, or we don't like eating that way, or we don't, whatever. And that's why so many people fail when they try to use willpower to overcome their eating habits or their gym, lack of exercise or whatever, is because we have something in the subjective mind that's bouncing it back. So in order for it to be effective, you have to work on that subjective material first. Once you have the subjective field cleared, then whatever you put into the conscious mind goes through the subjective material, flows right through it into the physical reality, right? So that's our teaching symbol, and that's why we call it our teaching symbol, because it really helps illustrate the ideas that we teach. All right. So the first tool, the first spiritual tool I'm going to talk about is meditation, because I think everything starts with that. I think that spending 5 to 10 minutes a day cultivating a relationship with that inner presence, that God life within you, is going to go a long way toward, number one, you being able to jump to center, which is what we like to call it. In a crisis, our practitioners are able to jump to center and be able to be centered in that moment. Not that we don't panic, we're human. But when we're reminded to jump to center, we can access it quickly because we all do our meditation, right? And so I suggest to every person that you do meditation on a daily basis. It's a great way to feel better about your life, to feel better about yourself, and to consciously connect with that power within you. Now, there's a bunch of different ways you can do meditation. When I'm teaching brand new people how to do meditation, there's two things that I teach. One is to sit cross-legged on the floor with a lit candle in front of you, and you stare at that flame for a minute. And then you take the heels of your hands and you place it over your eyes. You're not pressing really hard. Just apply enough pressure that you begin to see that flame right here. And you try to keep that flame from dancing around and moving around. You try to keep it right there in between your eyes, okay, in your third eye. And it's easier said than done, I realize. But the more you practice that, the longer you can focus. And you want to do it for as long as you can until the flame either disappears or is so dancing around so much you can't keep it in focus. And I guarantee you, if you do that every day for a couple of minutes, you will grow in the amount of time that you can hold that. It does two things. It teaches you to focus for long periods of time on something that is positive. The second thing that it does is it stills the mind so that you can be open and receptive to God. Okay. That's what really it's about, is about connecting with that spirit within you. All right. That's meditation. And then we have affirmations. Affirmations, I feel like, you have to work on that subjective material as you're doing these affirmations, because just rotely saying an affirmation doesn't necessarily work. What I like to do is I like to put them to music. I like to just try to stay present in the affirmation as I'm saying it. We want to make sure that we're not using any negatives, because the subjective mind does not know the difference between, say, I don't feel any pain, or I feel, good. It's like it hears pain and that's all it does. So we want to say, I feel good. I am healthy. I am feeling wonderful. Or say, for instance, I have plenty of money. you want to make sure and say that instead of, I'm no longer in poverty, because the subjective mind hears poverty and that's what it keys into. It's not discerning in terms of what it hears. So it doesn't hear those negative precursors to the words, right? And so when we're building our affirmations, we want to make sure I am is the most powerful affirmation you can do. It's even in the Bible, right? When Moses is talking to the burning bush and he says, who should I say sent you? The burning bush, as you know, God speaking to him, says, tell them the I am sent you. And so we want to be careful how we use I am. We don't want to say I am sick, I'm tired, I'm sick and tired. We want to use it in a very effective way. And that is, I am healthy, I am love, I am wealthy, I am prosperous, right? So, and you're going to say these affirmations 100 times a day. Now, I really recommend you get something like my mala beads here. Mala bead necklaces have 108 beads. And how the Buddhists and Hindus use it is they take one bead at a time and they move it while they're doing their mantras. So I say, do your affirmations that way. But remember, you want to do it with feeling. You want to smile while you're doing it and do it with feeling. My favorite affirmation these days is actually a chant from a guy named King Soon on TikTok. And it is, ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. And every time it chings, money comes to me. It all flows in so abundantly from the top, left, right, and up under me. I get dancing, you know, wave, wave, wave. I'm a money wave. Money flow, money made. Flowing in and out plus money saved. Ching, 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 all debt is paid, right? That's my favorite affirmation right now. Another one is I am enough, I have enough, I do enough. Because so many of us think that we're not worthy because we haven't done enough or that we aren't enough. And so it's really important, whether you're working on health or you're working on love or you're working on money, it's really important that you work on that subjective material that says you don't deserve it. The truth is you're made of God. If you're made of God, then there's no deserving. It just is. It is your birthright. And you don't have to worry about, you know, ever doing anything that makes you unworthy of having it, right? That's the important thing. Okay, so all of this leads me then to spiritual mind treatment, which is our main tool in religious science. And when you go back to the teaching symbol, you see exactly what's going on with it. So in the beginning, the first step is recognition. And that recognition step is really recognizing that God is absolutely all there is. And it's mostly like a meditation. I tell people when I'm teaching them this, that you spend about a paragraph in this stage because you really want to get into that feeling of the oneness of life, the feeling of God being all powerful and all encompassing. And then when you move into the unification stage, which is unifying yourself with that infinite power, when you're in that unification stage, you are exercising the fulfillment of that courtship that you've had with God, right? And so when I recognize that God is simply all I am, my very essence, my very life, my very being, it is who and what I am. When I get to that stage of the treatment, my mind is now prepared for the affirmation, which is the realization stage. This is where we speak our truth as already happening, right? So in the case of love, for example, I am now in the perfect relationship with the perfect person who validates my feelings and allows me to feel appreciated and loved, right? Same thing as an affirmation. When we're talking about money, I have more than enough to share and to spare, and more than enough to support the lifestyle I desire, right? If you're talking about health, I am healthy. My body now conforms to the divine blueprint, the DNA of God. And it outpictures in my ability to do everything that I ever wanted to do physically. You see? That's what the realization step is. We're realizing the truth about ourselves. And then we have Thanksgiving, because as you know, gratitude is one of the most important things that you can do as a spiritual practice. Gratitude is everything, because it is that attracting like a magnet. When I'm grateful for what I have instead of focusing on what I don't have, I'm calling more of the good stuff in, right? If I don't have love, if I'm focused on the idea that I don't have love, or if I'm focused on some person that could care less about us, if I'm focused on that, then the opportunities, the possibilities are closed off to us, right? And so we want to make sure that we are grateful for the love that we are receiving in whatever form that is, whether it's by an animal or your parents or your siblings or your friends or anything else, you know, anything in your life that gives you a feeling of love. You want to focus your attention on that and be grateful. Be grateful for it. If health is what, you know, you're working on, you want to you want to just focus on the things that you can do and be grateful for those. With my Hashimoto's, I really have to think about all of that, you see, because there are things that I can do now that I wasn't able to do 10 years ago, right? And so I focus on the gratitude that I can do those things instead of focusing on the fact that I can't exercise or that I, you know, this, that, or the other thing. There's a lot of things I can't do. But I don't focus on those things. I focus on the things that I can be grateful for that I can do. Okay. And because of that, I get healthier and healthier every single day. Right. And if you're thinking about money, it's the same thing. If I'm focused on, I don't have enough money to pay my bills, instead of focusing on, okay, I have a tenth of what I need to pay my bills. Thank God I have that much, right? Or every little amount that comes to you, I'm so grateful for that, right? Instead of focusing on what hasn't come yet, you want to focus on that has come. So you move from that realization step into that feeling of gratitude. You don't go back and pick it up. You don't go, I'm grateful for this, that, and the other thing. What you do is you say, I'm grateful that this is done, that this affirmation, this realization step is true. Okay. I'm grateful that this is done, but you want your heart to feel that gratitude, to let it rise up within you. I talk about doing gratitude journals as a spiritual practice because of that very thing. If I can pick out a bunch of things that I'm grateful for, then my mind is focused on those things that I'm grateful for. I like to do gratitude last thing before I go to bed, and gratitude first thing when I wake up. And I take gratitude breaks all day long. So gratitude is very key to a successful manifestation, whatever that's for. And then the very last thing is the release. So it's, are you ready to receive? Recognition, unification, thanksgiving, and realization, thanksgiving, and release. 5 steps. In that release, one of my mentor ministers, Dr. Fred Vogt, used to say, it'd be like going, you know, the way we are with praying. It'd be like I planted a seed in the garden. I put the soil in and I, you know, put the water in, and every 5 minutes I go out and dig it up and look to see if the seed has done anything, right? But we do that with prayer. Let's see, it hasn't happened yet. What's the matter? Why is it taking so long? I need it to happen now. What's the matter? You see? And so the release step says, I absolutely release this. I know that God has this, right? That's the most important thing, is recognizing that it's done and it's over. Now, does that mean you never pray on it again? No. If it comes up in your mind, you pray again. You do all 5 steps again. Again, releasing it. Because you know that there is a power within you that is going to work on that which you have already stated into being. And then we have visualization and visioning. Now, visualization is something that successful people, business owners, successful business people, athletes, successful athletes, golfers in particular, baseball stars, all of those people have been using visualization forever. And what that is you imagine, whether that's, sight or hearing or feeling, you imagine yourself as already achieved a goal that you're working towards, and you keep focused on that until it materializes, right? So a golfer, for example, would visualize himself or herself getting a particular score, or making a hole in one, or winning some kind of trophy. They would visualize that over and over and over again. And like I said, athletes have been using it for years to improve their performance. Successful business people that have been using that for years in order to make their business grow, to be able to become very wealthy, and their business becoming very successful. Now, the difference between visualization and visioning is that visualization is a goal I set and something I focus all of my attention on until I see it in the manifest reality. Visioning is a passive thing. Visualization is an aggressive thing where we're doing something to affect something. When we're doing visioning, we are listening and watching and expecting the feeling of whatever God's vision is for our life. I always give the example of Marlee Matlin in that movie, What the Bleep Do I Know?, where she's standing there and she's watching this kid play basketball. And she sees him bounce this one basketball. And when she turns away from him, all of a sudden there's basketballs flying everywhere. Those are the possibilities that God has. We see only the basketball. So she turns back around and all she sees is the one basketball again. And that's really what we do when we focus on one person as the source of our love, or we focus on one avenue for our wealth to come in, or we focus on some kind of form of got to do this in order to be healthy. When we do that, we eliminate all the possibilities God has in store for us. So I like to say that if I'm focused on something that much, that I need to open myself up and ask what God wants for my life. Now, keeping in mind, we don't believe in this wise judge in the sky. We don't believe in a God that would supersede what it is we want. So if I want to be a writer, there's no God out there going, no, you don't understand. You're going to be a hash waitress in Kansas. Not that I'm, I by all means, if you want to be a hash waitress in Kansas, I support you. It's just that that's not what I want. And I don't believe in a God that would say, no, you can't do what you want. I want you to do something else. That's something we don't believe in religious science. I believe in a God that is supportive of my every endeavor, because where it comes from is within, right? So there's a divine presence within me that is urging me forward to a better life. And so any ideas that I have, as long as I'm willing to open to that divine presence within me, any of those ideas that I have are from God. And so I follow through on those ideas, right? We do visioning every quarter at the end of the quarter for the next quarter. And the reason we do that is because we have to remind ourselves to check in with that infinite power, that infinite presence within us. Because otherwise, we just go off as our human doing things, and we never actually see the possibilities that God has in store for us. God has already given us everything. We are made in the image and likeness of God. We are made from God's stuff. Everything in us is God, right? And so anytime we have an idea about something greater than what our life is right now, it is God within us speaking that into fruition. So this week, I'd like you to do those, let's see, what is it? 2, 4, 5, those 5 things. To focus on meditation every day. If you can do 5 to 10 minutes every single day, I guarantee you, your emotional state will be so much better. Affirmations are going to help you get there, as long as you're not just saying them rotely, and as long as you're working on the subjective mind to uncover beliefs, limiting beliefs. If you write out affirmations, for example, if you write out, I am wealthy, and you use the affirmation response method, and the response comes back, no, you're not. You got something to work on. Then you write an affirmation to overcome that, right? I am wealthy. There is nothing in the way of my wealth, you see. There is nothing in me that can keep me from that. That's the kind of affirmations you're going to do once you see that subjective material. You're going to do those 100 times a day. Whether you use a mala bead necklace or you use a deck of cards, has 52 cards in it. However you want to remind yourself to do it 100 times a day. Do those affirmations. Do your spiritual mind treatment. Why we call it spiritual mind treatment is because we are treating our mind to be in alignment with the vibration of God. We're not beseeching. We're not asking. We are stating truth because we do know that God is for us, against nothing in us, but for us. Supports us 100%, and God's answer is always yes. So we do spiritual mind treatment. Do that with me this week. If you need some help, contact one of our practitioners or myself. Well, actually not this week. I will be out of town this week, but I'll try to answer you if I can. Do your visualization. Picture what you want life to be like, whether that's through feeling or vision or hearing or just a knowingness. You want to visualize what is your life like when you have that one thing that you are trying to manifest now. And then do visioning. You can do it with us once a quarter. You can do it on your own. You ask 3 questions. What is God's vision for my life? What must I become in order to be that vessel through which that vision that God has for me can manifest? In other words, we cannot have that which we have not yet become. So what must I become? And the third thing is, what must I release in order to become that? I always add a 4th question in there. I always say, what else do I need to know? Because there's sometimes that there's more information than just those 3 questions. But practice those 5 things this week, will you? Participate with me, and I guarantee you it will change your life. Let's have a prayer. I right now just turn my awareness to the infinite power, the infinite presence of God, to that place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful God is. One life, one power, one presence, one being. And so that's where I find myself, in the midst of God, my very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that ancient wisdom of the ages that lives within me, that is God flowing through me. I know that same truth to be so for God's team that I have the privilege to be a part of, to manage. For Faith and for Lynn and for Tina and for Karen and for Elaine and for Oz. For we are all one. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that ancient wisdom of the ages that flows within us. I know that same truth to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer today, because I do know that we are all one. For each person who is viewing this now or later, we are connected by it, through it, as it. There is no place where one leaves off and the other begins. There's only one being, one power, one presence, one love. Mitaku Yasin, all my brethren, we are all related. So I bless this week. I know that as we practice our spiritual tools and embrace the ideas that are put forth in this Back to Basics program, As we implement those things, our life gets better and better. That everything that we attempt to do comes forth for us. For every love that we seek, for all money that we wish to manifest, for all health that we embrace, for all of that is perfect, whole, and complete here and now. I know that same truth to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer, because I do know that whatever condition they are experiencing, God is the power underneath. God is the power behind. God is the supportive power within. So I pull back the veil and I reveal that truth here and now, as I claim for them all of the good that they are seeking. I call it good and very good as I claim it in their names as done. So right now my heart just fills with gratitude to know that this is so, to be of service in this way. I am overflowing with gratitude right now. And I succumb to that gratitude, fully present, as I just let this be. And so it is. Amen. All right. Right now, is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have already created in the physical reality and that which you have placed into the conscious mind, moving through the subjective mind, but may not have yet seen in the physical realm. In a minute, I'm going to have you go to www.oasiscsl.org. And about 2/3 down the page is the offering affirmation that I'm going to have you say with me. And underneath that is a contribute now button. And I want to talk about the contribution real quick, what you are contributing to. We don't have a facility, so you're not paying for rent. There's no utilities. You're not paying salaries. You're not paying anything like that. What you're doing is you're assisting this philosophy to go forward and uplift and inspire the world, right? We already have people in the UK and Germany and the Netherlands tuning in, but we would like to affect a change in everyone's consciousness globally, to be uplifted and inspired for God's message to get in there and give us that peace, all of us, the healing balm that we so desperately need at this time, all over the world, right? So that's what you're contributing to. So please go with me right now, whether it's real time or later on. Go with me to www.oasiscsl.org. It's right there on the screen and it's in the comments. And about 2/3 down the page, please say this offering affirmation with me right now. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. Hit that contribute now button and let's get this message out into the world. Thank you. All right. We have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners from coast to coast. I love being able to say coast to coast. I can't tell you how excited that makes me. We have practitioners in Florida, right now in Wisconsin, in California, in Minnesota, in Colorado. And so it's just awesome to be able to say that, Florida coast and California coast. I just love it. Anyway, those are our licensed practitioners. They are the healing arm of our movement. And we call them our God Squad because I feel like that's what they do. They are the God Squad. And they will pray every day for a week on any requests that you have. So if you would like to have prayer for something, please put in the comment section whatever it is you would like prayer for. And our God Squad will take care of it. Faith will add that to we have a private facing group page on Facebook, which is our God Squad page, where we list all of the prayer requests, and the God Squad is the only one that has access to that. And if you don't want to do it publicly, you can DM myself or Faith, and we will add you to that. Also, if you would like to be part of the God Squad only for this purpose, you don't have to be a licensed practitioner, but you have to be willing to do spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, no asking or beseeching. You need to be willing to follow through and do that every day for a week, and keep those requests confidential. If you would like to do that, say yes in the comments, and Faith will add you to that team, to that page. Again, it's private only, so only the God Squad sees it. You will keep those requests confidential, even from your spouse or your siblings. No, nobody knows except you. Excuse me. So if you want to do that, type yes in the comment section. If you would like to be part of our online community, you can type more in that, and she will add you, Faith will add you to our public-facing group page on Facebook as part of our online community. We announce everything there before we announce it to the world. So it's a great way for you to get your information sort of being on the in. Okay. Our practitioners are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance as well. You can hook up with them either through Facebook or our website. And you let them know that you would like an appointment. They will let you know how to pay for it, either PayPal or, Cash App, Venmo, Wise, any of those ways. I don't get involved in that. Each practitioner has their own business, so I don't get involved in that. I let them do that. You pay for the appointment and set a date, and they will reach out to you by video chat at the appointed time. And our wonderful, wise, and powerful Oz is available for what we call our 1-minute miracle after the service. It's not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share whatever situation you are in, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. And it's a wonderful way. If you can't pray for yourself, it's a wonderful way to get some prayer. So reach out to him by video chat. If he doesn't answer right away, it probably means that he's on the phone with someone else. Try back a little bit later. All right. We have a foundations class we're offering. This is the last week you can sign up. So you need to let me know if you want to do this. Our foundations class is basically everything we've been covering the last 4 weeks, but the very first week we set goals for where you want to be in 10 weeks. And we set an intention for exactly what you want to work on. And we apply all of these principles to that specific request for you all 10 weeks. It's a 10-week course, $30 a class. We let you pay the $30 up until the 5th week. On the 5th week, you need to pay the balance. That includes a fee that we pay to home office so that they keep a record of your training, so that if you go to another church, they have a record that they can look at and see that you have met the requirement for the next group of classes. So go to PayPal like you would normally to pay for our, to contribute. Go to PayPal. In whatever memo field they provide you there, just put class and let us know. But you can DM us and let us know you're interested. If we don't get more than one person, we won't have the class. We're starting October 6th, which is a Thursday night from 7 to 10. We are open to doing for our European people. I understand that is the middle of the night there. They're 8 hours difference. So I'm open to doing a class in the morning on Thursday morning. So let me know if that's what you want to do, and I will set it up. All right, let's get to our people here. There we go. All right, first is Brooks and Bailey. That's where my mala beads come from. Mine are amethyst, so they're $60. They have anywhere from $30 up, depending on what gemstone you want to have. All of the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, which is a very worthy cause. And you can get a hold of them through brooksandbailey0307@gmail.com, or also they have a Facebook page. And anytime they have an event, I always try to repost it so that you're in the know about it. All right, Faith.
And please check out my metaphysical shop. The website does not work anymore, but you still can order through Instagram and Facebook. Just private message us, and we can work through that from there. We have intention jars as well as kits to make them yourself, as well as bath salts that have different essential oils and herbs to help attract whatever you are currently working on in your intention.
Okay, this is what an intention jar looks like from Faith. Oop, she made this for me. This is my prosperity intention jar. Whenever I'm working with prosperity, I play with it. It's getting all the wax is falling off of it because I play with it so much. Shows you how much I work with it. All right, and then we have a companion a store as well from Angel Renee. She has an Etsy store where she sells the intention candles and tea bags that you can put into your bath that help you to focus. The herbs that she uses, the smell helps you focus on your intention. So it's a really good way to do that. All right, let's see. Have I gotten everything? Oh, no, I haven't. I put away that. I shouldn't do that yet. Okay, so we like to support those who support us. So the very first one is Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. Now, we've been doing her music all month long. If you've liked anything, please go on her website and check out those CDs. She has a bunch of CDs. They're all good. I have every one of them. I don't think I have the Beatles series, but other than that, I've got everything else. She redid some of the Beatles stuff on a metaphysical level, which is kind of cool. Anyway, she travels around the country and singing, and her website doesn't allow her to update it, so she can't put in how to make payments. So you'll have to reach out to her by email, let her know that you want to purchase something. She'll tell you how you can pay for them. She has all the CDs around with her in her trunk of her car, and she's really good at making sure you get them. So check it out and get a CD from her. We like to support her because she has provided us with, like I said, karaoke files that we're able to do music on Sunday. So we really appreciate it. And then there is Karen Drucker. Now, Karen Drucker's website does work, so you can pay for it right there. You can buy it by the song, by the CD, by the songbook. And some of the songbook pages have American sign language, blah, blah, blah. So you can sign the songs, and it's kind of cool. Anyway, hers does work. Go on there. She has excellent stuff. She has gifted us with her entire collection, which is like 20 CDs worth. And because of these two ladies, we can do music on Sunday. We really appreciate that, because every time we try to do popular music or, mainstream music, we get this violation and they mute us because it's copywritten material. So anyway, check out our website, www.oasiscsl.org. On there, we have video sermons from the last 3 years. We have audio sermons for years prior to that. And we are also on YouTube and SoundCloud. YouTube has the videos. SoundCloud has the audio files under S. Tucker. So check all of that out. And we're moving into our last song, which is a great meme to get stuck in your head. So if you know the words, sing it loud and sing it proud. If you don't know the words, get it. Just memorize them. It is such a wonderful thing. This is one of Karen Drucker's.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Right here, right now, I accept the blessings of God, the protection of God, the love of God in each and every life. And now these blessings unflow, and I allow them to be with great thanks. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Like I said, there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning. We're blessed to have had you here with us. Tune in next week and every week at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. We love having you. We love seeing you. Please be here and have a great week. Stay safe. Wear a mask. We'll see you next week. Bye.